G'day YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to use a few basic terminal commands. These are the commands I like to use most often, and it's the ones I know, use and remember. So open up a new terminal. The first command I would like to show you is tac-tac-help. Now, when you're running an application, you can use tac-tac-help to display a little bit of information about the various parameters you can use on your application, and a few other little bits of handy information that you can obviously use on that command. So the application I like to use is MapChanger as an example, and then obviously afterwards space tac-tac-help. Now this displays all of the information about how you can use the MapChanger command. Over here is actually the different parameters you can use, and over here is a little bit about what each parameter does. The second command I would like to show you is sudo, or super user do. Now this actually is a command to help you get root privileges on any of the commands you run. So today I'll show you apt-get install. So the application that I would normally install when I first set up my operating system after a clean install and a reformatted hard drive is actually CMatrix. That's normally the first application I'll install. And to do this we use sudo, or super user do, and apt-get install, and then the application of your choosing, CMatrix. Now I've already got this installed, so I'm not going to show you this today, but you simply input this command and hit enter, and away your installation will go. So third command I'd like to show you is top. Now this shows information about the processes running on your system. Now as you can see, over to the right hand side here are all the applications running on your system. Over here is your user, in my case it's root, which is essentially the administrator, or higher privileges than normal login on your Linux operating systems. And over here is actually your CPU resources, expressed as a percentage here. And over here is your memory. And obviously GNOME shell is at the top of the list of commands, which means it's using the most compute resources. And GNOME shell is actually terminal, which is GNOME shell. So to quit out of this or stop this, press Q from your keyboard, and then you can obviously go and clear that out, ready for a new command. The next command I would like to show you is ping. Now I'm going to ping google.com. Now ping is essentially the time it takes to get from you to the server and back. It's a round trip. As you can see, my ping is absolutely atrocious right now. I'm not too sure why. Something's obviously going on in my network. Over here is the IP address of the server of your choice that you decide to ping. Over here is the size of the ping. You can specify this in your options. If you need help on that, simply type ping space tac-tac-help, and that will display a little bit about the different parameters you can use. Over here is the ICMP sequence, and that is essentially the number of pings that you run. So right now I've run about 52 pings, and that number will continue in succession. Over here is the TTL, or the time to leave. which is 58, and that essentially is the time that you specify that your computer keeps the ping alive for on your machine. So to stop this, type Control-C on your keyboard and clear that out. The next command I'd like to show you is traceroute. I'm going to traceroute google.com. This will show you essentially the networking infrastructure between you and the server of your choosing. I'm using google.com, and as you can see, there's a number of hops that your internet connection will be routed through depending on which server you choose. Now over here, there's a lot of hops that are actually unreachable, and that is why there is a star, and there's 3 stars because it has attempted to ping each server 3 times. A better example of this would be my TeamSpeak server, which is ts66.gameservers.com. And because this is quite local and only 2 states away from me in Australia, it ran quite fast. Now as you can see, I live in Adelaide and I use Telstra. This here is my access point, and these servers here is basically the infrastructure between me and the server, and over here will be the server. Now you can see that it goes through Adelaide to Melbourne, then Sydney, and the server is actually Sydney based, so that makes a lot of sense. Over here is the ping time for each separate server, and that's expressed in ms or milliseconds, and 53 milliseconds is a fairly good ping. The next command I would like to show you is netstat tac-a. Now this will show you every single port that's open on your machine, and it will also show you every single connection, whether it be incoming or outgoing, on your machine. So I'm scrolling up to show you that there is actually quite a lot of connections on Linux, and in particular Kali Linux. So these are TCP and UDP connections, and here's my username here, my host name here, White, and there's a number of connections up here. Some are established and some are closed and waiting. Obviously being able to display your current connections and things like that can be quite handy, and you can obviously get a pretty good idea of what's going on in your system with this command. tac-a up here means show all, A for all, and that's normally the command I use when I run netstat. The next command I'd like to show you is ifconfig. This displays information about your networking adapters, whether it be F0 up here, which is Ethernet, or WLAN 0 here, which is actually my internal Wi-Fi adapter, or WLAN 1, which is my USB Wi-Fi adapter. Now over here is the hardware address, which is your MAC address, your internal address, which is your local internet address, your broadcast address, your mask, and your IP version 6 address, which is actually the address here. The next command I'd like to show you is avilable. Now avilable is essentially elaborate on the last command I showed you, and this shows you the changing powers of your adapters. As WLAN 0 is 20 dBm, 20 dBm with 100 milliwatts, and of course the Wi-Fi adapter is the same with 120 power. address or hardware address, the frequency at which your Wi-Fi comes at this point in time, your bit rate, which is essentially the speed, your current speed that your Wi-Fi is at this rate, and obviously your link point, which is expressed in a percentage of settings. So my network is actually showing 70 out of 70, which is essentially 100%, and this is a good net quality. Anything below 70 is obviously dropping off. Basically you want, above 40 really to get a good wireless connection going. The next command I'd like to show you is clear, which I just used. So if you run a command such as netstat tac, you can essentially type in clear like so and hit enter, and that will clear your terminal ready for new commands. And the last command, obviously you can probably guess, is exit. Now this will close your terminal if you hit enter. And folks, that is the top 10 commands that I would like to show you. And these are my favourite commands. I use them all the time, and they can be quite useful, and knowing these commands will actually get you through quite a bit of learning in Linux. And good luck with it, and I hope you get out there and do a bit of research on Terminal. It's a very useful product that is available on Linux operating systems. On Windows it's actually called Command Prompt, and the commands will be different for a lot of things. So have fun, and always don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe. Thank you.